Alrighty guys, this review is kind of covering what we just did, exponents, but figured I'd still add it just to refresh our memory. So, I'm not going to do the ones where it combines rules. We're just going to do, one rule at a time, and that'll be the same with your final. Okay, so the first two are multiplication rule, the second two are quotient rule, and the last two are power to power. Okay, so for the first two, multiplication rule, remember you multiply big numbers, and then you add the exponents to the little numbers. But if something doesn't have an exponent, you got to add it. So I'm putting ones on both of those. So again, like I said, multiply the big numbers. So 2 times 2 gets us 4. And then add the exponents that have the same base. So 1 plus 1 gets me 2, so x squared. And that's my final answer. Okay, so nothing too crazy. And you guys did pretty good at those exponents. Okay, so let's do that. Same thing for number 2. Take your big numbers, multiply. 2 times 3 gets me 6. Okay, and then make sure that each has an exponent. So add that 1 to the n. And then you're going to take your n's and add your exponents. So 1 plus 3 gets me n to the 4th, and that's my final answer. Let's see, number 3 for quotient rule, big numbers, just divide them. Okay, if they don't divide and they don't simplify, just leave them the same. Alright, so I'm keeping 2 on top, 3 on the bottom. Now we're looking at our x's. So with our x's here, we've got 3 on the top, 4 on the bottom. So when we subtract, I'm going 3 minus 4, which would give me -1. And then my y, that's just going to be chilling because there aren't any other y's. So I still have y squared. But like I've said before, we don't want any negative exponents. So to make that positive, we're going to switch it to the bottom. So my final answer here is 2y squared over 3x. All right. Number 4. There aren't any other big numbers, so that 3 is still just going to be chilling on top. And there aren't any other m's, so that m to the 4th is still going to be on the bottom. So then our next step is just to subtract the exponents to n's. So 4 minus 3 gets me 1. So I'd have n to the first power, just n. So my final answer here is 3n over m to the 4th. All right, last one. Whoops, made a big line there. Here we go. Last one here is power to power. So remember, with power to power, you got to make sure everything has an exponent first. So I have 4 to the first power, y to the first power, and x to the third. So once everything has an exponent, take the exponent on the outside and multiply the little numbers. So I'd have 4 to the third, y to the third, and x to the 9th. Okay, but our last step is to find what 4 to the third is, and that's 64. Okay, so I'd have 64y cubed x to the 9th, or you could flip that x and y, but we'll say this is our final answer. Okay, one more problem. Very similar to number 5. Again, make sure everything has an exponent, so I'm adding an exponent to a 3, to the 3, and to the x. So now we can take the number on the outside and multiply through. So I'll have 3 to the third power, x to the third power, y to the 6th power, but our last step is figure out what 3 to the third is, and that's 27. So 27x cubed, y to the 6th. Alright, so hopefully that was a pretty easy review for you guys there. Go ahead and try that review on EdSite, and let me know if you have any questions. See you later.